How's it going, my YouTube friends? Hopefully, you were having a fantastic Friday night and excited for the weekend as it's supposed to warm up a little bit more than it has. Depending on where you're at, even 0 degrees is better than what it has been. I went out sourcing today, just like I did the other day, and I found some pretty good things. I went to Goodwill, and apparently there is another reseller there looking up items on his phone. So it kind of made me a little worried, but sometimes other resellers can pass by things without thinking about them because they never purchased those items before or it doesn't appeal to them. But I still went and just secured 2.0, and as on, I think it sells for like 18. Apparently, it's a brewer maintenance accessory item, and it's needleless apparently. So instead of, honestly, I'm not really sure what it is. It's for maintenance, used for maintenance of the entrance needle Keurig brewer. So something with the needle, and I'm sure it cleans the needle or something. Because the needle pokes through that little plastic container of coffee, tea, or whatever beverage that you may be drinking. I only found this. In his cart, he didn't really have too much. He purchased a lot of Valentine's cards. I went back to go see if I could find any more that he already had, like in his cart, the same brands, but I could not. I think he bought them all because he had them stacked in his cart, which is alright because I don't think I would have purchased them because a few of them the rank was like 300,000 on Amazon. The price was there because Goodwill was selling them for like $1.09 or 99 cents, depending on what item it was, and they were selling for around $6. So that's a $2 to $3 profit, which is not bad at all. Um, but I didn't want to risk it because that rank was pretty up there, 300,000. Now let me know if you would purchase something that has 300,000 or less or more. I try and stick around 200,000 or lower on certain items. If I pay only $1 on the item and the rank is 300,000 or 400,000, and it'll sell for maybe $50, I would most certainly purchase that for sure. It's kind of iffy for me with Amazon. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Hey, Maria. I hope you're having a fantastic one. I wanted to show a couple items that I purchased at a consignment shop. Apparently, I shouldn't be giving out the name of the consignment shop. Then again, it's a local one. So, my past videos, I did talk about the items that I purchased. But I always look out for certain items like big brands like Cuisinart. This was $7.99 brand new. So it's not just going to Goodwill into the pockets of the CEO, but it actually goes, I think it's 50-50. So the person that consigned this gets half, as well as the store gets half. And this was, like I said, $7.99 brand new, and it's a 3 cup thing. It's a big container, but I think it sells for like 38 $38, something around that lines, um, on both platforms, Amazon and eBay. So I will cross post both of them, which is always a fantastic idea to do. Cross post your items, even if the prices are different. It's the fees that will be a big kicker because I think eBay's fees for having a store is 9%. Plus, you have PayPal, which is like 1 or 2%. But if you use the debit card, which is a whole new story, um, So let's just say it's around 11 or 12% for eBay. Amazon, I think it's around 15%, especially if you do Amazon FBA, which I will not do that with this because that's harder to do cross posting because then you have to type in your customer's address and all this other stuff. And it just, I don't trust Amazon to ship items to eBay customers because if something goes wrong, I get hit on the eBay side. Now, if Amazon ships Amazon customers and something goes wrong, that's Amazon's fault. So the customer can complain to Amazon for that. So that's this item. Hey Justin, how's it going? Hopefully you're having a fantastic night. Warming up out there because it's cold, and I do not like cold. Um, Along the lines of finding strange things, I don't like to buy big bulky things unless the price is there. You really want to check out like this one was kind of odd. It's an Auric. It's like a blender, which I was shocked to even find that they made that brand. I don't know if you've heard of that brand before, but it's like a handheld mixer, and it's like new because it has all the plastic. So I would definitely say like new on eBay. Best that you do not say like new on Amazon because you do not have the box. So I would say good or very good, and then say that it does not come with the box. I would have to test this, but it looks fantastic to me. Very clean. A lot of listings on eBay did not have this, which is the little plate that you can put like that, and then put your little gadgets and whisk things on there exactly like that. So that's a great buy, and I think I purchased this item for $8.99, and I think it goes for $38, something like that, which I bought one before at Goodwill for $6, and I sold that for $70 because I waited on it. So if it's a low cost item, it's always good to just sit tight and make it a long tail item unless you really need money right away. Hey Candace, I hope everyone's having a good day. I don't know why my chat up at the same time. Let's see. Yeah, Auric is a very good brand to have, most definitely. I thought it was only whatever makes me money. That is what the key is. Which of course I go to. I think Goodwill's a non-profit or something like that. I go to Goodwill and I find nothing, and then I go to this consignment shop and I find Cuisinart $20 profit, and then I find this, which is roughly $25 as well. So that's $40 after spending, oh, I don't know, 15. So anybody can do this. It's just that simple. So get out there, find some good stuff. All you have to do is look it up on your phone and see what the sold listings are. I can do a whole new video if you like. If you like that idea, let me know in the comments. If you want me to do like a video on my process of if I should purchase the item or not. Sometimes it's kind of iffy on how to do it. Everyone has their own way. Somebody will tell you that's a terrible way, but if it works for that person, then it works for that person. There's no shame, and you're reselling game. Another item I found, which I didn't find that much, but it was a brand new display digital picture frame, a 7-inch picture frame, and it's brand new. They were wanting $6.99, which again, I feel comfortable with spending that much money on something like this, especially when it sells for $26 on Amazon. I don't know what it goes for on eBay. It might be a little less, maybe a little more, but the rank I believe was 24,000. I'd have to double check that, but 24,000 or so. To spend $6.99 to make roughly $18. So that's $60 altogether for 3 items. And last item I found was a Jason uh, pouch, which I didn't know was in it, but it's a vintage binoculars. People actually buy these still. I guess if for like see their players real close because your phone doesn't have a very good zoom, and even if you do, it's kind of blurry. The zoom is very clear. I spent a whopping $5. So Starbucks coffee, $5. Don't really have to clean them up much. Just have to test them. Boom, tested, done. Um, and I think I saw on the listings $22. The only issue is I have is there's one cap, two cap, but there is none for that. So that was kind of a bummer when purchasing this because I know a customer would want the caps that go on the eyes just to keep all the glass safe. But since the glass here is bigger, um, you know, can't even put it there. But since the glass is bigger here, it's best to put the cap over it than on the top. That's just a few items. Oh, and the case is actually makes it more expensive. So you can also go maybe $5 extra, and then for shipping, I use a 9x6x4 box. It's very thin, double tape both sides, and I'll probably put a little bit of bubble wrap, and then shrink wrap it, and then put a warning label, a choking warning label on there, and it should be good to go. Well, of course, after a business card, because I have a video in, I forgot what playlist it is, that talks about the essentials for reselling, and it's pretty affordable. I'm not sure if you have any questions about anything that I found or with selling. I just wanted to do a real quick live video. I hope you're all having a fantastic night so far. I see Maria's here, Justin's here, and Candace is here. So I wanted to show you all this. Pretty cool stuff. Not as exciting as yesterday. Yesterday was pretty awesome. I was very excited with the little things that I found. I think I really liked that Sony Walkman. I need to list that very, very soon. Other than that, I think I found some pretty good stuff. I'll have a fantastic weekend. Tomorrow, I'm going to probably hit maybe 2 or 3 different. I kind of live in like the suburbs, city like, so I can find there's 4 Walmarts around me within 30 minutes, and 4 or 5 different Goodwills around me within 30 minutes as well. Uh, Less than 30 minutes out west, and then 20 minutes out east. So they're all around me. The only thing is you got to find that stuff and have the money for it. So either let things sit, or you can, which is long tail, or you can sell them off real quick, make a quick buck. I kind of do a mix of things. Certain items that I spent like $20-$30 on that'll sell for $80. I sit on those for about 6 months to 8 months. If it doesn't sell, I can always drop it down to $60, and then I'll still make a $40 profit or so, excluding fees. Other than that, I like to try and flip it as quickly as I can. Apparently, sometimes you don't get those sales, so don't be discouraged. Keep going, and you will make it. All these big sellers don't have problems with things like this because they have a mass amounts of items because they have the income for that. Now, if you're just starting out, you don't have the money for that. Either you're part time doing this, or you're full time and just having a struggle spot, or whatever it may be. Just keep sticking with it, and I know you all will be able to do it because if you're not persistent with trying to put items into eBay or Amazon or updating listings or anything along the lines of that, eBay or Amazon will not necessarily, they won't, it seems like they don't help you out as well. So if you list consistently, maybe 2 to 3 items every day on eBay, it seems like their algorithm says, hey, they're doing good work. Maybe we should bring their items to the top and help them with their listing. So it's always a good idea to, you can make drafts, but be careful with that because I've heard from some people that their drafts are actually deleted after a certain amount of time, which you do all that hard work and now it's gone. You can also take pictures of the items but not make drafts. So if you're just sitting on the couch watching TV, you have all the photos. You can upload those photos on your computer without having to take the photos. I personally do not do that. I use my camera on my phone. It takes pretty good photos. My setup is pretty clean, just a white background. Sometimes, if you change up your background, not super drastic, like not a black background, but like a light blue or a light gray or some type of texture, it'll actually stand out in your listings as long as you're taking clean photos of the items. You have a nice light that shows everything. Be careful of glare because there's many times that I've taken pictures of uh, like metallic objects and I view the photos that I just took and I notice that I'm in the view of that reflection. So I go back in, I edit it, take another photo to make sure that I am not in that photo. As I've seen other sold listings where it's just, why? Don't you know reflections happen all the time? So it's a really good idea to make sure that if there is reflective materials on these items, to try and angle it and get the adjustments just right. I prefer not to have my hands in the photos because I'm not a hand model. In my next life, I will, but right now, I am not a hand model. So I just try and keep my hands out of the photos. I try not to, again, glare, no hands in there. Try and clean it up as much as you can. If it's dusty, get an air duster. I have a polyfiber or a microfiber cloth. I have multiples. You can tell how filthy they are because I use them. Um, for lenses, I use this, which is less harsh on the glass. This one more for cleaning, and this one for an overall clean because it takes up all that um, the dirt and grit and dust. I hope you all had a fantastic night joining me. I appreciate it. It's awesome for the 4 viewers tonight. Thank you so much. I am super close to 100 subscribers. I am so close. I'm only 2 away. That will make my day. And I will be excited for 204. Every single to help you all as well as you are here to just view my items and just listen to me because I am just odd and I like people listening to me. But it's fun, right? I mean, gotta be silly sometimes. Reselling can be stressful. It's stressful when people think it's not a real job when it's actually a real job because you're going out there, you're grinding, you're hustling, you're working your butt off. How is that not a real job? There's going to be ups and downs. That doesn't mean that it's not a good job. It just means that it's not consistent. But you're going to have your high days and your low days. But you got to know to keep on focused. And you can do it. I can do it. We all can do it. Just don't give up because if you give up, then you're just throwing in the towel because that's not cool. That's not good. Why was the reason that you even started? You started because you wanted a different way of life, a different way of doing things. And by going out there and finding these cool items, it's not only that you find these cool items to sell, but you get to keep some of these cool items. And I know some people go out there and thrift, but you get into a mindset where you look and you go, how much money can I save on that? How much money can I save on that? So it's like you get out there and you're wanting to save as much as you can, which what's wrong with that? I mean, why would you spend $80 on shoes or let's say $80 on a camera when you can go to the thrift shop and find one for 20 bucks? It just doesn't make sense. Or binoculars. These binoculars, if you're really looking for binoculars, $5. As for me, I'm trying to find a web camera to connect to my computer so I can do some better live streaming and show you my sold listings. Because I'm sure you all want to see those sold listings and how I take photos of things. And I know a lot of thrift shops have those because they go for like $6 to $8, which I've sold them before, but I never really thought about doing live streams. And I don't want to look like a potato on my laptop because it'll look all blurry and whatnot and pixelated, as I'm not really fond of that. I mean, I don't want the best of the best quality because I don't have the money for that, but I don't want to look like a potato. Potatoes. Eh, potatoes. But anyways, thank you all so much for joining me. I thank you all. See, you flipping particles, awesome name. Yeah, see, you can find things. Welcome. You can find things at estate sales, Goodwill, Savers, your local Facebook auctions, or what is that called? Facebook Marketplace. You can find things there. You can find them. Anybody that if they say, "Hey, you're a seller," yeah, do you actually have a web camera? Or if you go to garage sales, you can ask for web cameras. I know it's a little not the season for garage sales just yet, but most certainly garage sales are a good way to go. You can go look around and ask, hey, do you have any video game systems or specific items that you're looking for, like the category of something that you're looking for? Because I personally look for electronics and cameras and a whole bunch of other things because I do not want to spend $160 on a cam link to connect my camera to my computer when I could just get a $30 web camera. Or I think there's a app for Android and iOS that's like $20 that will connect your phone wirelessly to OBS, something like that, which I'm not 100% sure. It's along the lines of that. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the chat. I'm actually going to go pretty soon, unless you have more questions or anything you want me to talk about for tonight. But overall, I think I found some pretty good stuff. I'm going to get out there tomorrow and hopefully find some more. I will be keeping an eye out for those web cameras. And of course, when you look for something, you never find it. Isn't that how it works? I found 2 to 3. So it's like, it's frustrating. But there's nothing you can do about it. You can just keep trucking along and keep going. That's all you can do. Um, that's pretty much all I found today. I think the best item was this Auric item, and how they displayed it was great. I'll even show you the mess of the entanglement. But I think it's a really cool item, not just because of the brand, but I've never seen this before. Is having a item like this where you can put the little pieces in, well, if they fit. Oh, it even snaps in. And then you put that in. So it's a nice little stand base. Maria says, I find stuff I didn't even know I was looking for all the time. Yes, that is exactly my case as well. Because you go not really thinking that you would need something or want something or is going to be a great find for you until you just go, oh, I didn't think I wanted that or needed that item. For me, I'm trying to think. There's a couple items that I never thought that I would keep, but I mean, there's great things out there. We don't usually look for anything specific more or less than wandering and see what catches our attention. Exactly. Exactly right. That's how I feel the same way because when you go into any place like that, especially garage sales, you're just looking. It's kind of hard to explain how it really does work because you're just kind of looking around. Of course, brand new items always catches my eye. I look those up because they're the easiest to sell. You don't have to clean them. You don't really have to. You don't have to test them at all. The only thing that you really have to do is get the stickers off, maybe some marker, which is kind of cleaning the item. But other than that, I mean, you just find a brand new item and boom, you ship it into Amazon or you can sell it on Amazon Merchant Fulfillment or eBay. A couple items that I found without looking was this Sony A5000 at Goodwill. And it was only, oh gosh, how much was this? $100? $100 or so for this. Just at Goodwill. I wasn't even looking for a camera. I saw it because I like cameras. And the really cool thing about that is it sells for like $250 or so. I also found a smaller DSC Sony, which kind of looks like an RX100. If you've seen a lot of vloggers have these, a couple of my videos I have these cameras, but I mainly use this flat one. Justin said by the time we hit garage sales, all the highly sought after stuff has been picked, but we usually find some good stuff. Right, and that's the key is I can go behind a bunch of resellers, but with a greater knowledge or experience of finding certain items, they wouldn't know what to look at. Like if I go behind a reseller that's into selling clothes, they know all about the brands. I'll walk behind them and go, I have no idea what I'm looking at, but I see this sitting there for $50. Hey, $50, I'll sell it for $250. I'll walk away with $200, maybe a little less because of fees, and I'm golden. I mean, I never thought that I wanted a camera, but hey, it's that easy. Same thing with items that you never think that you would want, but you actually use almost every day. Is this tabletop tripod I found, which is pretty nifty. Um, it extends the legs so as high or as low as you want. You can make it super high, which I do not. But I mean, I never thought that I would find something like this. And it was only $4.50. The thing is, I think I was blessed to have the the camera plate for me to just put my camera's bottom in and just plop it in there. Which I don't want to go vlogging with it, holding this around, because I have. It's not that Gorilla Pod, but it's like an off-brand one. If you know what I mean. That's not a bad choice to have. I know that there's other ones out there that are just a stick that you 3.5 millimeter or something like that screw that you just can put your camera on there. By the time we hit garage sales, yeah. No, I get what you're saying. No worries. I get you. I get you. Um, so that's pretty much my finds. There's just really cool things out there that you never really thought of. I mean, I again, the Auric. I mean, I think that's my find of the day. I should probably start doing that in every live. Be like the find of the day or uh, the the biggest thing that got me excited. Like you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain, but it's like we have to still have that type of thrill, or the whole reason we're doing this is for nothing. And to go into this thinking we're going to get rich, I think that's a really bad idea to go into. Even the real rich people never started doing this to get rich because there's a lot of bad that will come with that because you might break some rules just to make that money. But the thing is to make sure that you uh, dot your I's, slash your Q's, or whatever. I don't know what that saying is. But pretty much make sure that you're doing things correctly and have a great business ethic because overall that will keep you going and that will make you more successful than any money could ever give you. Because if you made a lot of money, how much pride are you going to have if you did it the wrong way? And you make all this money, and then boom, your store gets shut down. Yeah, you have all that money, but you're not going to get any more money consistently coming in. So 10 years from now, that 100 grand is going to be gone because you're going to use it up. But if consistently you make 20 to 30,000 a year and you keep growing, the thing is growth is always ideal to have. You have to always focus on that. Dot your I's, cross your T's. That's right. Your T's, not your Q's. Well, your Q's you could, because if you don't slash the if you don't slash the Q, it's just an O, right? Right? Maybe. I know that's not the saying. I know. But still, if you think about it, an O, an O is just an adult Q without a tail. It's lost its tail. I don't know. I'm feeling goofy. It's a Friday night. I'm stuck at home. Well, not really stuck, but I'm at home. I'm probably gonna list some items, listen to some live streams, and just have a relaxing night. Try and think of some new things to talk about because I am still roughly new with YouTube, but I think the more I think about it, the big the big YouTubers with all the subscribers with hundreds of thousands of uh, viewers, and when they do live streams they have more than 200. It kind of frustrates me because if I'm on there and I try and say something, it can get passed up. It's not that they're ignoring me, it's just that there's so much going on. And for a smaller YouTuber, I think they have more passion. Just like a smaller eBayer or a smaller Amazon seller, I think we have more passion where we want to fight and say, "Hey, we can make it up the hill too. I know you're up there, but I can get up there too." You said there are plenty of platforms to make money. on now, especially now that they can ship on OfferUp. Yes, I did see that. I saw that OfferUp does shipping, and I think Facebook Marketplace does shipping. So it's like this whole reselling community is expanding. But my concern is I've been doing this for 2 to 3 years, maybe four or five. My concern is people are going to get into it and they're going to fizzle out. They're going to give up. They're going to go, I don't want to do this, which is fine for the big time sellers, but the little ones, they're trying because they think it's good money. That's the biggest thing, you know. Justin said that's why we like Chris Liquidation Ohio. Yes, absolutely. And I think you subscribed to me from his live stream, Justin. I think you did because I was on Chris's Liquidation. I didn't really remember his name. Shame on me. But I know Liquidation Ohio. Awesome guy. He responds to every single comment. Maybe sometimes he misses a few, but I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I think he had up to 68 or 69 viewers on there, and I'm gonna guess maybe 20 or so commenters. So it's a whole bunch. And I thank you so much, Justin, for joining me. You just got to bear with me because I'm still trying to get used to the waves of YouTube life and the live. So I appreciate all four people, which four people is exciting to me on a live stream, which is kind of intimidating but also exciting at the same time when other people are like, yeah, I had 15, I had 50, I had 1,000. Hey, it doesn't matter. You tuned in to see me. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm working my butt off. He does do a great job. Once your chat starts flying, it's hopeless. Yes, that is very true, Maria. That is very true. As well as I would want, if I get so many people in my chat, I would want at least one or two moderators that I can count on that will be on every single live. And I would talk to them to say, hey, are you able to go on my live streams to delete messages or things like that? Because it's not what they say to me, it's they're going to disrupt everybody else in the chat. And I think that's why there's moderators, because if there's hate speech or political things or religious things in the chat, which that's fine to talk about elsewhere. This is not the platform or my channel to be discussing these things like that. But that's going to stir up everybody getting upset or ticked off, or if it's all one-sided on one person saying something. I don't want bullies. I don't want anything like that. You know what I mean? I appreciate that, Flippin' Particles. I have a live show every weekday at noon. I will most certainly check that out. Justin said I'm always at work when you're live, Flipping Particles. Yeah, see, that's another thing is it's hard to catch a live stream, but I really like the feature where you're able to post it and let it stay live. I think that's really good. Some people actually delete them. I'm running on 40 minutes. I will probably just leave it up. If people want to see this, they don't have to watch the whole thing, but it might help them out. There might be little questions that they have without asking. There's a lot of lurkers out there, which is fine because I do that sometimes. Or maybe someone's working and they just like hearing someone's voice while they're listing items on eBay. I've done that many, many times. There's a handful of them, especially Chris Liquidation Ohio, like what Justin said, is to I like to listen to what he has to say. I glance over at the items that he's showing, but just a regular live stream where you're just talking about, advice or, just life advice, any advice. It's really nice to have to know that you're not alone, Maria said, leave it up. Have a silly, I have to silly lives that still get views. You still, yeah, still get views. The lives still get views, yes. Chris must not have gone live tonight. I'm not sure. I think he goes live at 9, which last night I went live at 9 as well. And then when I stopped, I saw that he was still live. So my thing is, I'm trying not to like bump into other resellers because I know there's a bunch of other people that want to hear different aspects. I know Chris is big into clothing. And again, I'm into cameras and electronics and just mainly hard goods. I'm really good at. I'm not really good at retail arbitrage because I do not have the money for that. I'm decent at it. If someone gave me 5 grand, I could do it. But other than that, I wouldn't be very good. Okay, so Chris doesn't go live on the weekends, which makes sense. I think he has a part-time job. Chris was busy tonight, I think. Hey, Juxtapose. I'm even saying your name right because of LA Beast. Awesome. Dude, I think I caught your live the other night and I had to get offline, but I saw that you were watching Matt Stoney eating something, and I was about to get really irritated with you because I wanted to see his newest episode of I think he ate 1,640 fries or something like that. I don't know really how long it took him to eat that many fries, but it, dude, you do what you got to do, man. But I don't. I'm kind of concerned that competitive eating is gonna actually plummet for certain people. I mean, look at LA Beast. He doesn't do competitive eating so much anymore. See, yeah, that was a ton of fries. And you think 1,600? I guess that's not too bad, but I think in a large McDonald's, which I do not eat McDonald's, so forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm guessing in a large McDonald's fries, there's probably 30 to 40 fries. So he had probably, oh geez, I don't know. He probably had 16 large fries that he ate. But he's a little guy that is used to eating that much food, and I give him props. I mean, he's doing his thing, and people love it. People love what he eats, and that he's just a beast at it. Just like LA Beast, I think people like LA Beast is because he's more than just competitive eating. He does strange like stunts, food stunts. And I think people appeal to that because he does things that nobody else can. I thought that was pretty cool. That's kind of like me with my thrifting is I find things that nobody else really finds. Like I was saying, as cameras for $100, man. Like never thought I could find the camera for $100 that goes for 250, or a tripod, or shoot this Orkin thing, or what was my biggest find yesterday? This Sony Walkman for $2 that goes for $60 to $80. I mean, all day long. It's just I think the thing is we need to focus on things that we're really good at. I think the overall message here is focus on things that you're really good at, or maybe not the best at, but I think the key is passion. You have to have passion for what you enjoy. And sometimes you're going to have hangups. Like for me, I like to power lift. And I've had some hangups where my deadlift wasn't as good, or my bench wasn't as good, or wintertime is giving me that seasonal affective disorder, whatever reason it is. I think the thing is we need to focus on, hey, I think I can do this. I think I can bring people along with me that are trying to do the same exact thing. I think the smaller people at the bottom of the hill need to be noticed, which again, I don't want to get into the whole topic of YouTube Rewind, but they didn't talk about any of the smaller YouTubers. There's tons of small YouTubers out there that were never noticed. And that is kind of disturbing because YouTube is, I thought, was all about helping people, was out there for people. And it doesn't seem to be that way because they're they're so strict with everything you do and say. A lot of the middle ground YouTubers um, that have like 500,000, I think they're even getting strict because they have to watch what they say. I think like 4 years ago, any YouTube title that said like vomit alert got tons and tons of views, like tons. But now they're strict on it, which doesn't make sense because I think there's like a new CEO lady that's part of YouTube that's cracking down on what you can and cannot say, censoring us, which the internet is not all about censorship. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, I'm not sure. I do know that TV has a lot of censorship, but it's a lot relaxed now, especially if you have cable. Because I grew up in the 90s and you couldn't say any B word or S word or anything more than that on TV unless you had cable, which is why cable was invented for people to pay for the TV because people didn't want to pay for TV. And that was the biggest thing, but I'm rambling on that. Um, so I don't know. I'm gonna try this out, try and see how YouTube goes. My main focus is to chat with other people, get out of my comfort zone because I do work at home all the time. I'm not very social in that aspect of getting out there and just conversating with other employees or making friends in the same aspect as everybody else. So online friends are just as good because you can actually turn them into real friends. If you know what I mean, like you can hang out if they live close to you. I'm currently in the Midwest, which is kind of a good and bad thing because it'll only take me so many hours to go east, so many hours to go west. I think to Colorado, it took me 12 hours to drive out there, which isn't bad at all. Now imagine if you're in Colorado and you got to go to New York. That's such a pain. But I mean, the Midwest with Florida and all those other states in the middle, it's kind of nice to be centralized where I am, especially for my reselling career and with a lot of wholesale shipping too, because if it's coming from, like I was saying, from each side, it's not going to be as expensive to ship out halfway across the states. All right, I wanted to thank. Where are you in the Midwest? I got family in Nebraska. I am actually in Missouri. I think there is another reseller. I think there's two. Um, my mind just farted, but I can't remember his exact name, like his YouTube channel. Shoot, antique, antique something. Yeah, Nebraska is pretty close. That is above Arkansas, I believe. So that's around a 4 hour drive, which isn't bad. I don't know if any of you know Lindy Glenn. She lives in Kansas and kind of centralized Kansas or so, something like that, which is pretty kind of close to me. And I feel for her because I've been out there and there's not a lot of thrift shops. I mean, it's kind of hit or miss. Back in the day, it would take me 19 hours to get to Grand Island, Nebraska. Now I drive a bit slower, which is probably a smart idea. Not only is it safer, but you save money. Yes, never more antiques. Yes, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yes, I knew something antiques. I think he lives in Cape Girardeau, which is actually real close to the border of Missouri and Arkansas. So I've gone to Arkansas before for about a week, and I came back with a southern accent. Weirdest thing ever, because I just go there and everyone's so friendly. They want to hug you, and I don't know who they are. They have their little accents going on like that. So then when you come back here to Missouri, you go, "Hey, how you all doing?" And you're going, "How the heck did that happen?" It's weird. I don't know. And the thing is,